There is a man out there of which my audience is most likely familiar, but there may be people who are not familiar with this particular individual about which this video concerns. This video concerns the gamer Gator, or Gator as he is known, or the based old by his friends, or the fist fucker of children, as he is also known by. He is a man of many names. But in order to give you a sense of what this man is like, the Gator Gamer, there's an illustration, and it's in the title of this video. You know, when you look throughout fiction, because oftentimes, you know, life imitates art and art imitates life. When you look throughout fiction and in reality, there are heroes, and there are oftentimes sidekicks. And there are very cool heroes, you know. For instance, there's Batman and his sidekick, Robin. There's the Lone Ranger and Tonto. There's Captain Kirk and Spock. There's Han Solo and Chewbacca. But the sort of man that the gamer Gator is, in an illustration, would be the sidekick to Aquaman. The lowest, lamest, gayest, cringiest superhero out there, who's really only got one use, you know, within the ocean, just like Ethan Ralph has his one use, which is to do mud raking and drama videos and burn himself down with others. In this same fashion is the gamer Gator. He is so pathetic, so lame, so cringy, so beta, so spineless, so loathsome, so untalented, so uncharismatic, so worthless, that he is the sidekick to Aquaman. He is the sidekick to Ethan Ralph, the Gunt, a man who's already unfunny, untalented, morbidly obese, a criminal, a fraud, a liar, a scam artist, a distributor of child pornography. And he is the servant, the sidekick, the second banana, the fucking beta bitch to the Gunt, to Ethan fucking Ralph, to a man who eats burgers out of trash, to a man whose only claim to fame is mud raking, making up lies and gossiping about other people like a goddamn woman, like a fucking tabloid, like some sort of National Enquirer bullshit. And he is that man's bitch, that man's sidekick. This is the gamer Gator. And the gamer Gator puts up with a lot of fucking abuse. It's not like Aquaman treats Aqua Boy with respect or any shit like that. No. Fucking Aquaman, that fucking Gunt keeps his Gunt and fucking pimp hand strong over that bitch-ass gamer Gator. That fucking Gator Gamer, man. He treats him like absolute fucking shit. You think, if you've watched any of the kill stream over the course of its time, he constantly demeans Gator, cuts Gator off, tells him he's cringy, tells him to shut up, puts him in his place, limits the amount of questions he can ask guests, limits his career. When Gator wanted to do his own thing, Ralph didn't allow it. He brought him back and made him his bitch and forced him to be the co-host. When Gator was short on rent, what a generous boss Ethan Ralph was. He loaned Gator $300. A really minuscule sum of money when you think of it. And you would think, oh, well, Ralph would just let that go. No, he publicly exposed Gator as having taken that loan from him. It wasn't even a gift of $300. You know, you've done a good job, Gator. You've been so loyal to me. You've been spending hours of your life in Discord and on forums online, on 8chan, trying to defend my good name from the evil, slanderous A-logs. Here's a nice bonus. I know you're struggling with rent because I don't split the proceeds from the show with you, even though you go out of your way to play your gay soundboard. Gator, play the clip. Gator, Gator. No, I'm going to give you a loan, and I'm going to expose you and say you're a fucking deadbeat and a piece of shit to everybody else. And that, you know, I'm loaning you this money, and you didn't pay me back. And the loathsome piece of slime that Gator is, well, he's being abused by his boss and enabling his boss's substance abuse, his alcoholism, his food addiction. He actually forgives him, kisses the gunt, licks the boots of Ethan Ralph after being embarrassed and humiliated like that. And still, to this day, comes on the show. And not only comes on the show and picks out topics for Ralph and does his gay soundboard for Ralph and defend him all over the place online, you know, but he still worships him and looks up to Ethan Ralph as a god, you know. While he's working at his sad little grocery store job or whatever, barely making ends meet, miserable lifestyle, weighing 400 pounds, pretending he's the epic old, pretending like he was on 4chan in 2004. This is Gator's life. He actually forgave Ralph for all of this and continues to do the program without pay. He does it for free. He's like a fucking Janny. He does it for fucking free, guys. And not only that, he's the perpetual second banana. Anything that Gator has ever tried to do as an e-celeb on his own has failed miserably. Does anybody remember, stop, Gator time? Anybody remember that gay shit? Stop, Gator time. It's Gator time, guys. Gator time has never even broke like 4,000 views. There are only like 10 episodes of Gator Time that ever occurred because no one watched it. Nobody thought it was good. It was garbage. It was trash. It was filth. It was the lowest common denominator of failure. And after that, after having his ass handed to him by YouTube, he went back with his tail between his legs and licked Ethan Ralph's filthy gunt crust. Licked it. Suckled at Ethan Ralph's filthy little gunt, licked his boots, said, "Oh, Ethan, please forgive me. Forgive me, Ethan. I love you. I love you, Daddy Ethan. I love you, Aquaman. Let me be your sidekick. Let me be your perpetual bitch for all time." And when the kill stream was doing poorly, when it was starting to go downhill, Gator had an opportunity to hijack the show for himself and steal Ralph's audience and make a living for himself and start to become a real man, a real boy. I'm going to be a real boy, Daddy. I'm the Gator Gamer. I'm going to be a real daddy. But you know what he did? He bent the fucking knee to Ralph again. His consistency, he is Ralph's V. He is the milk-fed gimp of Ethan Ralph. The milk-fed bitch gimp who suckles gunt milk from Ralph's disgusting, infected, oozing, fucking filthy, fat, obese gunt. This is the fucking life of the Gator Gamer. And it's pathetic and it's fucking sad, guys. And people out there, the only reason I'm making this video is because it's so requested. I don't even want to waste my fucking time, waste my breath talking about this fucking loser. This man who is the beta to the alpha, Ethan. Can you imagine Ethan Ralph being the alpha male in any context? It fucking boggles the mind. Not to mention other situations where Ralph demeans the other co-hosts and Gator just goes along with it. When he calls Flamenco an autistic who can't socialize with other people. mind you, Flamenco actually pays money to be on Ralph's show. He pays money to Ethan Ralph to be on the show as the co-host. At least he did for a period of time. I don't know if he does it anymore. And Ethan Ralph embarrassed them all by being a pill-addicted alcoholic. By being a pill-addicted alcoholic, eating burgers out of the trash, failing and scamming his fans out of $4,000 to go on a wild Miami vacation where he just drank himself into a coma and produced no content, where he did cringy vacation crossovers in Knoxville where he exposed his gunt, where, you know, he left his recording software on during the pill stream and was exposed as a fraud and an alcoholic and a loser. And all of his fans started to leave him. And he had to damage control. And Gator and Flamenco said they would never do the show again. But Gator, the spineless, whimpering loser that he is, came back, licked Gunt Crease, and said, "It's okay, Ethan. We've got you off the booze and the pills now." Mind you, the guy is still fucking drinking at least 2, 3, 4 days of the week. Is still an alcoholic no matter what he tells you. Still abuses substances. And that's the reality. And the sad thing about it all is there's a man who had a shining example that Gator could have followed. If Gator didn't want to be the real man, if he didn't want to be the alpha, if he didn't want to take over or do his own thing or whatever, he should have at least had the common decency to follow Zidane's righteous example, go out for a pack of smokes, and never, ever come back. But no, he's still there, 5, 6 nights a week, doing a 3-hour show for a man who demeans, degrades him, exploits his labor, his emotional energy to make money, very small amounts of money, and he puts up with it. It's sad, guys. He's a beta, as Jesse Lee Peterson would say. And people sit there and they go, "Well, Ralph, he speaks to thousands." You know, Ralph will say, "I speak to thousands. The show is a success by any metric." There were episodes of the Kill Stream this time last year, about a month ago last year, November, October, that were doing 8, 9, 10,000 viewers a show. Ethan Ralph, when he even gets guests like Jim on, is lucky to break 1,000 viewers on DLive. He's not on YouTube. He doesn't get paid in super chats. He doesn't get paid in real money. He gets paid in Lino, a scam cryptocurrency developed by Chinese scam artist flimflammers. This is how far he's fallen. The man raised $26,000 for St. Jude's last year. Now he can't even raise $26 for himself. You know, a lino is what, like 4 cents? If that? And this motherfucker comes around saying he's hood rich, he's this, he's that. He ain't fucking shit. And he knows it. And eventually, the viewership, which is like 500, 600 normally on DLive, sometimes I've seen it at 300, 400 when it's a real boring news reading show and it sucks. Like, honestly, it's going to go to 0. He's going to have absolutely nothing. He's going to have a huge hole in his resume. He's going to be known as Ethan Ralph, the guy who beat a cop. He's a felon. He has no future. He has no life. And he's going to end up working at fucking McDonald's or Walmart or at some gas station. But the thing about Ethan Ralph is he has such an ego and he has such pride to him that he's going to put a gun in his mouth and kill himself. And that's the alpha of the show. That's his fate. Gator is his beta, his bitch, the inferior version. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. When you realize that, And if Gator is hearing these words, which I'm sure he is, he has to be having an existential crisis at this moment. And I pray that he does. I pray that he turns his life around, that he goes to school, or he goes and gets a job, or he goes to the gym and lifts weights and loses some weight or something, and tries to get a girlfriend, or does something else with his life, or at least tries to do his own show with his own guests and be his own man. But he never will, because he's a bitch, he's a beta, it's hardwired in his DNA. He'll never, ever, ever be a real man. He'll never, ever find Christ. He is doomed to most likely either become a homeless bum in the street, begging for change, or follow the same path as Ethan Ralph, blow his head off, and burn in hell. And I don't want that for Gator. I don't want that for anyone. But when you have a person who's so hopelessly warped and deranged to be a submissive simp, I don't see much other hope for him. Now, maybe after Ralph goes down in flames and ends up dead or fucking working at McDonald's or wherever the fuck he is, maybe Gator will wise up and he'll find another alpha male father figure to latch onto. But the reality is, Gator sucks so much at everything and is so untalented and is so useless that I don't think anyone would actually take him on other than a person on the same caliber as Ethan Ralph or Andy Worski. And you've seen what's happened to them. Their career circles the drain. It's sad. It's pathetic. Everybody in chat knows it. Ralph knows it. Gator knows it. I don't know what else to say. Gator fist fucks children. He aids a child pornography distributor in Ethan Ralph, who did download child pornography with Andy Worski. He's admitted to it. There's live stream of it. He's assisted Ethan Ralph in covering up deplatforming people. When Ethan Ralph's biggest moment in his life, and by proxy Gator's biggest moment as well, because Gator's whole existence is serving Ethan Ralph and propping him up. That is Gator's existence. The biggest accomplishment was shutting down Mundane Matt for false flagging people and taking down videos. And they did the same thing to people on Stream Me that Mundane Matt did. They did it to re-streamers of Ethan Ralph's content. They did it to people that were making fun of Ethan Ralph. And you bet your bottom dollar, these motherfuckers who talk about how people cry in the hug box and can't handle criticism, they will flag this video for bullying and harassment like the little bitch boy that they are, try and get my video taken down and my channel have a strike. Because that's the sort of loathsome losers that these fuckers are. And you'll watch and see, like all my other videos on Ralph and Gator and the whole crew, this shit will very quickly be flagged, go age restricted, and then it might be taken down and struck because of the new terms of service. But you know what? I don't give a shit. Fuck you, you false flagging pieces of shit, you hypocrites and you losers. Honestly, what does it profit a man, Ethan, if he gains a few super chat lemons but loses his soul? You know it doesn't profit you very little. You know it profits you little, because your bank account has been dwindling over the last year. Soon it's going to be zero. Your viewership's dwindling. You have these sad little blood sport debates trying to relive the good old days, but the shit's still boring. Even when you have a blood sport show, it's not even good. That's the truth. That's the truth. And I can't even watch your show day to day. It is so boring and so cringe. And everybody knows it. And that's it. That's the bottom line. You're boring. You're irrelevant. The only reason I talk about you is because people on this channel like it. And I'm a man of the people. And I give them what they want. It is what it is, pal. I know you're going to come here. You're going to get salty. You're going to cry. You're going to spurg. You're going to rage. It is what it is. And it amounts to very little. So thank you, fuck you, bye, you Ethan Ralph and his little bitch boy sock puppet beta sidekick Gator.